So obviously, we're in an environment, and most of you have heard of any number of the accounting firms, especially the large accounting firms, being sued, whether they're being sued by the government, like SEC, or they're being sued by shareholders or lenders, class action suits. Auditors are subject to, legal liability. And we also have a changed legal environment, and a lot of it has come out of just, the huge scandals that we've seen. And scandals are not unique. It's not as though the WorldCom Enron era happened and it was so new. I mean, there's always been audit scandals where auditors have been sued because of lack of, appropriate audit procedures and, issuing an opinion on financial statements that were incorrect because they did not perform an audit with due diligence and due care. So it's not new, but there's, in this environment that we exist in today, where everything is, instantly hits the news media and it's on a constant news loop, people, so it's in your living room all the time. So people are more aware of these, they were more aware of the Enron scandal. It was so big. They're more aware of the WorldCom scandal and the PCAOB and Sarbanes-Oxley and the fact that there were hearings at Congress. So the legal environment has really changed. So yes, auditors have a responsibility, obviously under common law, to comply with the contract. So when they're engaged by the client to perform an audit, there's a contract. We call that the engagement letter. Right? There's a contract that they sign that basically says we're going to do X, Y, and Z, and you're going to provide us with A, B, C. Right? And we're going to deliver these financial statements. The client will say we need our financial statements. If it's a publicly held company, you have a deadline, because your financial statements have to be filed with the SEC by a certain period of time. Otherwise, you face penalties. So the auditors have a legal responsibility just based on contract law. You enter into a contract with another party, you're responsible to fulfill your end of that contract. Also, the auditor is subject to liability because of the fact that they're providing an opinion on information that the client makes assertions about, and they could be sued for negligence, right? So they met their contractual terms, right? They lived up to the contract, completed the audit by the agreed upon date, and delivered what they agreed to in the contract. But then after the fact, we find out that they, the company had to have a restatement or so forth. And so they're liable to their clients if the client says, you know what, you should have caught this. You were negligent. Right? You didn't perform the audit with due professional care. So auditors are also liable to their client for negligence related to a breach of contract if they don't perform the audit with due